Welcome to Midlife Unlimited, the podcast for women who want more. I'm your host, Kate Porter, the Midlife Metamorphosis Coach, and I'm delighted to be catching up today with my episode 80 audio podcast guest, the wonderful Susanna Reay, to give a taste of our episode, Sparkling, that's available now wherever you get your podcasts, How to Be Honest in Midlife. So welcome, Susanna. It is fabulous to have you here.
It is lovely to be back as well, because boy, was that a corker of a conversation.
Well, do you know, I had a funny feeling it was going to resonate, and boy, has it! And I'm delighted that we're doing the video version as well to get more eyes on our little chit chat because I don't know if it's just me, but my social media feed, and I won't use the full word just in case, seems to be a battle cry of midlife women. It's our time to give zero Fs. And I'm not sure quite how I feel about that. A, is it just a trend? I mean, I'm all for let the judges judge. That's great. I'm all for being honest. But honesty, being completely blatantly honest, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Oh, totally. I don't, and this is what we kind of went into because
Yeah.
there's two sides of this coin. I think white lies have their place. I don't think you always need to be brutally honest. I don't think that's what it's about, but honest in the right places and situations absolutely is really key in business, in life, in relationships, wherever it is. But I do think there's also always nice to have an element of secrecy, actually,
No,
amongst things. And I don't think that's a negative.
no. And also, I think we're old enough, gorgeous enough as well, to have, whether it's innate empathy or because of everything that we've been through, good and bad, we have that feeling of connection. And often we can very quickly, I think it's one thing we do as a generation. We very easily identify with how other people are feeling. And I think that is something that we need to bear in mind when we're wearing our honesty bonnet or whatever we want to call it.
Mm.
Um, but also, I think one of the main takeaways from our conversation, and it wasn't really a light bulb moment, I think it was something we both thought, but it really came through strongly, was that first and foremost, you've got to be honest with yourself, haven't you?
Oh, totally. And I think for me, that's been the biggest change
Yeah.
of the last 10 years is when it started with being honest with myself, with what I needed. And then when and in what location I chose to verbalize that outward, that was then where you walk that line.
Mm.
But it's saying to yourself, like, what do I actually need? How do I want to be in life? And what does that look like? And I think that's when the honesty switched for me. And it happened at the point, I think, as well, is well, my kids are now 21, 18, 19, every year.
How old?
They're another year older.
Yeah.
They're away, they're at university and they're away from home. So 10 years ago was when they were at that starting secondary school
Mm.
phase. So they were becoming a lot more independent.
That elastic was stretching, yeah.
And I think that's what happens in this midlife period is particularly if you have been a parent, that first 10 years of any child's life, you're very much full on,
Yeah.
hands on. And then you get to this point of going, and what about me? Because you want your own identity, even if you've been running your own business and career throughout that whole time, when the kids start running their own lives a lot
Mm.
more, and I was always, make your own lunches, you're sorting out your room. I was never like the slave to them. I was never the helicopter
No.
parent. But it's still when you realize they're taking that step away. So you now start to think, well, honestly, what do I want for me? What's my next decade going to look like? And the decade after that. And I think it's that piece about honesty is being honest with yourself of where do you want those next steps to go for in your life. And for me, that was really the big sort of launch pad of going a lot more deeper into my work
Mm.
because actually that lights me up. I love the people I work with. And I was like, this is what I want to do more of For other people, they
Yeah.
might go, I want to run a marathon, and they go off training for a marathon. That's not me. That's me being totally
No.
honest. You're never going to get me running a marathon.
But you're absolutely right. It is that. I mean, I call it an epiphany, and it's no. I had a free ebook called Your Empty Nest Epiphany. I'm not trying to flog it because I'm actually turning it into a proper book that will be out. But part of that, and as you just said, it is that intermediary time where I know a lot of you watching won't have kids, but bear with me. You'll know people that do. And empty nesting is blinking hard. It's horrible. I've been through it twice with the same kid. It's hideous, but there is a way through. And I've devised a plan. And part of that is it's this moment now, as you say, when the elastic is starting to stretch and they're starting to be independent. They're probably still at home. They haven't gone to uni or college or army or over wherever they're going. They're still there. But there is that shift. And if we're not careful, we can fall into that trap of feeling my world is evaporating around me. I've got no control. And then that's when the whole I mean, I've been there, and the women I work with, that awful thinking just sitting there. I mean, I've seen so many videos recently, and again, it's another little trend. But God, they get you. The woman driving along in the car, kids screaming in the back, la 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 la, and then it flashes to silent car, woman driving on own. Not bloke. It's always the woman. Bloke, you go through it too. But it is that to me. That's just like God. That sums it up, that whole it's not just empty me, but no, as you say, it's an epiphany moment, and now is the time, that is the time to start thinking
I would
what
actually
what
say the
lights me up.
time is more at that secondary point. Like listening to you, I'm
Yeah,
like going, I did it without realizing at the right moment
yeah,
because you've got to grow at the same point your kids are growing,
that's it. If
basically.
if you
Don't
wait,
wait till they leave home. And then, as you say, you've got that feeling. Because, in fact, I'm the opposite right now, being completely honest. It's like, I
oh,
am so excited and proud of the fact my kids are independent. The eldest is about to graduate, we're moving into that world. But what we're doing, me and my partner, is going, right, how do we want our life to be? And I'm reworking my business to be more flexible. I'm like going, this next decade, I'm 54 now. So I'm like, 54 to 64, you look at all the stats and they say that is your most sort of healthy, active decade, like particularly if you're like
that's
post
it. We're
kids. So
adding life
use
to
it.
our years. We're in this now. It's a longevity revolution, women. Come on. Rah, rah, rah. Forget about the effort moments. Let's start being honest with ourselves. Let's
Yeah.
start, and I call it a plan, PLAN. And I'll quickly say it's like be proud, let go, accept, but then nurture and nurture ourselves, whether that's in business, in pleasure, relationships. Use this time because we're not saying it's too late. And I know we slightly digressed onto empty nesting, but we don't talk about that enough either. Empty nesting is not just for September, peeps. It's all year round. And the second time my boy went, because he came home for a year in industry, when he went the second time I empty nested, I was a completely different person because I'd had that epiphany. I'd had that. I was as excited for me as for him. Whereas the
Yeah.
first time it was like, oh, oh no, what is going on? I have no uses anymore. And then it's like, great, and we're actually comparing notes. And, I mean, he's working now, but it is that moment, that
Mm.
shift of, and not everyone wants to be running their own business. People want to be doing
No.
all sort of learning Mandarin, climbing mountains, whatever lights you up. And that is being honest with yourself. I'm getting quite emotional now. I could talk about this all day, but it does. You can see it in both our faces, viewers. This is how it makes you feel when you use that shift
Yeah.
of, and I know you're not all mums or dads, but it's powerful. It could be a relationship with your parents. It could be you've been looking after them and then suddenly they've passed or they've gone into a home. Do not feel guilty about that. it's
Mm.
it's something that has to happen, and that
Oh,
might be controversial, but I'm in that situation, so
yeah. No, that was giving me the shivers because, as you say, whether or not you have children, you've definitely had parents.
Yeah.
And I think this is a piece around the midlife years,
The
you're in that
sandwich. Yeah.
sandwich. Yeah, totally. And I know it's interesting for me and my partner, basically, we've got just my mother left because over again, the last 10 years, three
And we've
have
got
passed away.
all of them are still around in some way, shape, or form, but
Yeah, but we went through that sort of caring and speaking with friends as well that, as you say, are in that situation. It's like,
guilt.
don't feel guilty if you need to use the care homes because you can't do everything. And that's a piece about being honest with yourself,
Yeah.
is that, I mean, I was never ever going to be a nurse. So I am never going to be a
No.
nurse to my mother. And I've been quite clear about that because that's not me. Yes, am I caring? I'm nurturing, yes, but nursing is another level. And I think it's important for us to recognize that. And this is where the honesty is of going, how can I best help them? And I don't want to be the carer. I want to say the daughter.
Yeah.
That's my role, is to be the daughter.
I mean, I could sit here and my little Deirdre, my inner critic, could be saying, "What the hell are you doing talking to Susanna?" When really you should be, use the shoulds, you should be sitting there with your dad, reading to him. Well, sorry, Dad, I've chosen for this 20 minutes, 25 minutes to spend some quality time with you, Susanna. And I will spend other quality time with my dad as he sleeps through chapter again and again and again. But we enjoy. Are you listening? Yes. No, you're not.
I was going to say, oh, his ears burning.
Yes. So what? Repeat the last sentence. Well, if you read it again, I will. And I'm not laughing at you, Dad. I'm not laughing at him. People
Uh,
who've been in this situation, I'm sure, will resonate. But it's about being honest. And you could beat yourself up. You could beat yourself up.
and I will say, in that scenario, what was pinging off in my head is this is the beauty of audiobooks.
Yes. Oh, no, he likes his CDs, the audiobooks, because he nods off. It's like, and then he forgets, oh, he forgets how to rewind it. I am his audio. It's I haven't quite. I don't do the voices. I don't. I'm complete. We're going down a
Oh,
lovely
when I
path.
was reading to my kids, I loved doing the voices, but I've got a bit of a theatrical
Oh, yeah.
background and I love that. So I'm like, oh, yes. And
I
it's
must
even it
admit
comes out in
when
photography,
we
I
read the
realize I pull faces and I'm
yeah
like, ah.
when we read the Poirot short stories because we do love a whodunit. I've completely digressed now, but I've got a link back. Well, I'll be bringing us back in a minute. But I really resisted doing that. But he kept my dad suddenly was saying little grey cells. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, all our contact details are in the show notes for our episode. Where obviously if you've enjoyed our little chat now, go and listen to the audio episode as well, because there's so many things we haven't covered. But yeah, all our contact details are in the show notes for the episode, and Susanna's got her own guest profile on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website. But the reason we've delayed this live slightly from when our audio episode came out last week, yes, is because we wanted to get as up-to-date information as possible for something rather exciting. We've been talking about books. It ain't a who done it, but over to you, Susanna. Have you got a copy that you can show us? Talk us through what's going on.
It's
Give
rather exciting.
me the
And
question.
being totally honest here, I didn't create it as a standard book format because I'm not standard book, basically. I created my book Framework Thinking in the square format, and it is also full of diagrams and action. I just wanted to show
Yeah, no,
inside.
I'm getting ideas because obviously Midlife Unlimited, the book is coming, and I need ideas and inspiration. So I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
look.
very
Yeah,
much so. And the first people who've seen it, because I've got things like, and anyone can take my authority, natural authority style quiz.
is that a
That is
squirrel?
also free on my link. So you can work out how you show up naturally as a leader, as a person, whether you're a
I need to
hummingbird, a
do
squirrel,
this.
an owl, or a dolphin. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things I recommend. Like, look on my links and you will get there. But the feedback I've had as well from the book, because I've got some fun frameworks that I've shared, both flawed ones, I've created fictional characters. But for me, having a business book, it doesn't have to be all words. It doesn't have to be, I get bored, to be honest. Like, I'm quite neurodiverse in my mind that I like different things to attract. So this is
I'm
where
very
I was
visual.
like,
Yeah, I'm very visual. I need
yeah, bring the visuals and make it interesting. There's real exercises, so it's a practical guide. It's not a biography.
thing is,
There
we've
are
been to
my
school. We don't want to go back to school. This is about next level. As you say, it's framework thinking, it's pushing the boundaries, it's shaking things up.
Yeah, it's very much about taking all your scattered ideas and bringing it into a structure that you can then create your own intellectual property from that. And so I take you through my Spark process that literally it starts with self, premise, then we move into the art, the visuals. Then we look at reach, which is how you send that message further afield, how you sell your services. Then kudos when it comes back. And that's about speaking on stages, writing books. How can you weave your framework across everything? But
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be one of these superficial high level books where you read it and then you're dissatisfied at the end. If someone purchases this book and they are an action taker and they follow the exercises, they will have their first framework at the end of it.
I'm so delighted to hear that. And I say I must get hold of a copy because I dislike it's like when you read, and I know we've talked about social media a lot, but it's like that awful feeling when you read a post, and whether it's a business post or a personal post, and it makes you feel, oh, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not making £100,000 a month. I'm not going to the Seychelles. My husband, I don't look like that. My belly doesn't look like that. Da, da, da. I haven't got oh. And then, as I said, the old inner critic Deirdre starts up again, going, "Well, that's because you'll know that you're not this.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
take
That's
that
why I go,
action."
stop it. I'm not, I'm me.
Yeah,
Do me.
precisely. But I love the fact that no, it's called framework thinking, isn't it? Yeah, about action. I am the queen of taking perfectly imperfect action and doing it, turning our dreams into actions and reality. So, how can we get when's it actually out?
So I've got the Kindle release date is the 13th of May. You
Woohoo!
can get your hands on the paperback already because it's print on demand, and obviously that takes a few days. But during launch period, which is the 13th to the 15th of May, the Kindle version is going to be on sale for just $1.99 or $2.99 if you're USA
Hmm.
Amazon. And then the price will rise on the 16th. So if people are thinking, I'm not sure, is this for me? Everyone can afford £1.99 is why I've priced it at that. But I do recommend get the book. It's lovely, it's
Oh,
beautiful, it's full color.
there's something about I was about to I've got a book here because I'm interviewing for Hannah in a minute for her episode that's coming out on the 14th of May. There you go. I'll give her a little plug as well. There you
Yeah, why
go.
not?
Um,
We love books.
yeah, absolutely. You wait. You're going to be in the Midlife Unlimited book as well. That's going to be
I can't
huge.
wait. I
Like
can't
another
wait for your book.
hour. Oh, yes. So website, is that the first port of call for getting hold of it?
The easiest place, yes, absolutely. My website, which is my name, Susanna Reay, spelled SUSANNAREAY.com. On the homepage, you'll see link. Obviously, I've got it there, new book, and then you'll get all the links. Or search for Framework Thinking by Susanna Reay on Amazon,
How
and you will find
exciting!
it.
I can't wait for that moment. It's like, oh. And leave if you've got it already, if you've pre-ordered it, make sure you leave reviews for Susanna because we were just talking about reviews, and leave a review for this little episode. How did we make you feel? Any light bulb moments, any epiphany moments, or go and listen to the audio episode available wherever you get your podcasts. Leave a review there. Subscribe, follow. My other half says, Kate, you should be saying, press the button, subscribe, subscribe. So press the button. Buy me a coffee. There's a button to do that as well. How exciting. And don't forget, there's a new episode, audio episode every Thursday, available wherever you get your podcasts. And then there'll be a YouTube video like this, a little video podcast with that audio guest coming along either on the day the audio comes out or maybe a day later. Who knows? Because we like to shake things up. Also on the website, details of how you can work with me one to one, or doors to more, MORE exclamation mark, the original, the best, the award winning more. Come and join now, 8 weeks, one to one and group, and no self study. Because who has got the time to do that? And the amount of guilt that I hear about. I joined this course and it had all this self study. Anyway, enough about that. DM me. Let's get you on that. Susanna, it's been a pleasure. As always, thank you so much. Here's to being fabulous, flourishing together. Your new book. Good luck to that. And here's to living midlife unlimited. Thanks ever so much for joining me.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.